Okay, James, nice to meet you. I'm
You too.
Robert Ray from GW.
Hi, Robert.
You're James from...
Label Power in Australia. Yeah.
And I understand that recently you upgraded one of your machines to our Aeroled 2 LED system.
Yeah, correct. We recently had a OMET K-Flex 530 wide, which had the Leo LED curing, and we found that to be quite good and easy to use. And one of the other presses that we also installed in the same year was a Bob's M5X, which is a 10 colour 440 wide press, which had all GWV, but we also had other presses in the plant, MPS presses and things, and running all the presses at once caused too much power consumption, caused our power board to run too hot. And it was $150,000 at least to upgrade the power and give up part of our car park for the substation. So we looked into upgrading part of the, or retrofitting part of the Bobs with the Aero 2 air-cooled LED curing. We bought 5 cassettes.
And so you bought the originally you had an OMET with the Leoled system on.
Yeah.
This was our original Leoled 1 curing system. And the curing power of that was fine for the speeds that you needed to run on that machine.
Yeah.
And then your Bob's machine, you're saying you had too much power in the factory and you needed to reduce the amount of power that you were drawing in order to...
We were running all the machines at once, depending on how many colours we were running. But if we had lots of colours running on the machines, we were running too much power in the factory and overheating the power board.
And the power company then were quoting you additional money to upgrade the power in the factory to draw more kVAs, have enough power to run all the UV systems at full power.
Yeah.
And so Aldous and Chris Bodger from Aldous at the time, now CS Graphics, they were quoting you to upgrade the Bob's M5 machine to our Aero 2 system.
And it wasn't, and when the Aero LED 2 system came out with a higher curing power, that was the same as the water-cooled system when I decided to go and purchase it. So,
our original Aeroled 1 system was lower power than the Leoled 1 system.
That's right, yeah.
But now the Aeroled 2 system came out with the same curing power as our old Leoled 1 system. Then it was a bit of a no-brainer, was it, to upgrade to the Aeroled 2 system?
And the advantage was by having the interchangeable cassettes, we now have a lot of spare conventional UV cassettes as well, so we get spare reflectors and spare bulbs, so it made sense to do the upgrade.
So do you know how much it brought your power consumption down by, switching to the Aeroled 2 system? Or you just know that it came down enough to be able not to do the power upgrade?
We just got a feeling from your website, we did the calculations, that would just take enough off for us that we could continue to run both machines at once, or at least those two and the other machines at once. And we've been running pretty much all machines without any power restrictions since the upgrade, which is good.
When was the upgrade done?
Only recently, I think about a month ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're finding that the power consumption is down low enough now that you're not tripping out the substation. You haven't had to do the upgrade.
Correct. Yeah.
And you're able to run all the machines with all colours. Without any restrictions on printing.
Some of the older presses still have conventional LEDs, so we're not loading those up too much. But we are definitely finding that it's. I think it has made a difference.
Okay. Yeah. And the curing power of the Aeroled 2 system, I mean, theoretically, the power output is the same as the Leoled 1 system. How have you found the curing and the performance in reality?
It's still early days yet, and I know when we first did the install there were some issues, but they had to do some adjustments. But we haven't had any complaints since, so I think it's all running. It's all going fine now. Yeah. So.
Okay. And how long do you estimate the return on investment will be for investment in an Aeroled 2 system? I mean, you were looking at potentially an enormous bill to upgrade the power in the factory.
Well, exactly, and I haven't worked out what the return is with the power consumption savings, but I know obviously we won't be replacing the normal conventional UV bulbs as much. and also we don't have to pay out the $150,000 for the power upgrade.
How much was the power upgrade?
$150,000.
$150,000 to upgrade the power in order to solve the problem.
Exactly. So,
but instead you just upgraded to the Aerolet 2 and
correct.
You've been able to keep running without that upgrade.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow, that's an enormous saving. Okay, well thanks very much for your time to JoJo.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.